Welcome to Improve English with Podcast. I'm Mia, and I'm very happy you're here with us today. Today, we're talking about something that comes up in conversations all the time, talking about your job in English. Whether you meet someone new, attend a meeting, travel, or even chat with a neighbor, people often ask about work. Questions like, what do you do? Where do you work? How long have you been working there? For English learners, these questions can sometimes feel a little uncomfortable, not because the topic is difficult, but because you may not know how to explain your job clearly in English. But today, we're going to practice simple and natural ways to talk about work. And as always, I'm here with Chad.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad we're talking about this topic today because I've definitely had moments when someone asked me about my job and I didn't know how to explain it in English.
That's a very common experience. Many people know their job very well, but explaining it in another language feels difficult.
Yes, especially when someone asks more questions. At first, it's easy, but then they ask things like, "What exactly do you do?" And suddenly, my brain stops.
That's completely normal. But the good news is that job conversations usually follow simple patterns. Today we will practice introducing your job, describing what you do, talking about your daily tasks, and answering common questions about work.
That sounds really useful because job conversations happen everywhere.
Exactly. Let's start with the most common question people ask. What do you do?
Yes, I hear that question all the time.
It's a very natural way to ask about someone's job, and the answer can be simple. For example, I'm a teacher. I'm a designer. I work in marketing. I work in customer service.
So the easiest structure is I'm a or I work as a.
Exactly. For example, I'm a software developer. Or I work as a sales manager.
That sounds natural.
Yes. Another common way to answer is I work in. For example, I work in finance. I work in healthcare. I work in education.
So instead of the exact job, we talk about the industry.
Exactly. Now let's practice a short conversation. So, what do you do?
I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, nice. Where do you work?
I work at a design company.
That feels like a very normal conversation.
Yes, it's the kind of conversation people have every day.
Now let's talk about the next common question people ask. Where do you work?
That question is simple, but sometimes I don't know how much detail to give.
You don't need too much detail. You can say, I work at a hospital. I work at a bank. I work at a tech company.
So the structure is I work at.
Exactly. Now let's imagine another short conversation. What do you do?
I'm an accountant.
Where do you work?
I work at a financial company.
That sounds very natural. Yes. Now let's move to the next common question. How long have you worked there?
This question is a little harder.
Yes, because it uses time. But the answer is still simple. For example, I've worked there for 2 years.
So we say for plus the time.
Exactly. You can say, I've worked there for 6 months. I've worked there for 3 years.
That's not too hard.
No, it's quite simple. Now let's practice a longer conversation. What do you do?
I'm a project manager.
Where do you work?
I work at a software company.
How long have you worked there?
I've worked there about 4 years.
That's a very smooth conversation.
Yes, and these kinds of conversations happen everywhere.
At networking events, at conferences, at social gatherings, even when meeting new friends.
It's almost like a standard introduction.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another common question. What do you do at work?
This question is harder because it asks about responsibilities.
Yes, but the answer can still be simple. For example, I manage projects. I help customers. I design websites. I analyze data.
So we describe our daily tasks.
Exactly. Now let's practice another example. What do you do at work?
I help customers solve problems.
That's very clear. Yes. Clear and simple explanations are always best. Now let's imagine a real conversation between two people meeting for the first time. So, what do you do?
I work in marketing.
Oh, interesting. What do you do in marketing?
I manage social media campaigns.
That sounds like a real conversation I've heard before. Yes, it's very common. And practicing these small conversations helps your brain prepare for real situations.
I already feel more comfortable talking about jobs in English.
That's wonderful. And we're going to continue building that confidence because there are many more situations related to work. For example, talking about daily routines, explaining what you like about your job, and even discussing workplace challenges.
Those conversations sound very realistic.
Exactly. And practicing realistic conversations is one of the best ways to improve speaking. So let's continue exploring more natural ways to talk about work and daily responsibilities in English.
Talking about daily responsibilities at work is something people ask about quite often. Sometimes after you say your job title, people become curious. They want to know what you actually do every day.
Yes, that's very true. Job titles can be interesting, but they don't always explain the daily work. So people often ask questions like, what does your typical day look like?
That question sounds a little complicated.
It sounds complicated, but the meaning is simple. It means, what do you usually do during a normal workday?
Ah, I see. So how could we answer that?
You can answer with a few simple sentences. For example, I start work at 9 in the morning. I usually check my emails first. Then I have meetings with my team.
That sounds very natural.
Yes, describing routines is a great way to talk about your job. Let's imagine a short conversation. Person 1, what does your typical day look like? Person 2, I usually start work at 9, I check my emails, and then I meet with my team.
That's simple and clear.
Exactly. Now let's talk about another question people often ask. Do you like your job?
That's a very direct question.
Yes, and your answer can be simple. You can say, yes, I really enjoy it. Or, yes, I like it a lot.
And if someone doesn't like their job?
Then they might say, it's okay. Or, it's challenging but interesting.
That sounds polite.
Yes, many people try to stay positive when talking about work. Now let's imagine another conversation. Person 1, do you like your job? Person 2, yes, I enjoy it. My work is interesting.
That feels like a normal conversation between coworkers.
Exactly. Now let's talk about describing responsibilities. Many learners worry because they think they need complex vocabulary, but actually, simple verbs work very well. For example, I manage a team. I talk with clients. I prepare reports. I organize meetings.
Those verbs are easy to understand.
Yes, and they are very common in workplace conversations. Let's practice a role play. Person 1, what do you do at work? Person 2, I manage a small team and organize projects.
That sentence explains the job clearly.
Exactly. Clear communication is more important than complicated vocabulary. Now let's talk about something else people often ask. What do you like about your job?
That's a great question.
Yes, it helps people understand what motivates you. You could say, I like working with my team, I enjoy solving problems, I like helping customers.
Those answers sound very natural.
Yes. Now let's imagine another conversation. Person 1, what do you like about your job? Person 2, I like working with people and helping customers.
That feels like something someone would say in a real conversation.
Exactly. Now let's explore another situation. Sometimes people ask about challenges at work.
That sounds like a deeper conversation.
Yes, but the language can still be simple. For example, my job can be stressful sometimes. Or, there are a lot of deadlines.
Deadlines mean the time when work must be finished.
Exactly. Deadlines are very common in many jobs.
So someone might say, I have many deadlines this week.
Yes, that's very natural. Now let's practice another short conversation. Person 1, is your job stressful? Person 2, sometimes there are a lot of deadlines.
That sounds honest, but still professional.
Exactly. People often talk honestly about work, but they usually keep the tone respectful. Now let's talk about another common topic, working hours.
Ah, yes. People always ask about that.
They do. For example, what time do you start work?
That's a very common question.
You can answer like this. I start work at 8 in the morning, or I start at 9.
And if someone finishes work later?
Then they might say, I usually finish work at 6.
That makes sense.
Yes. Let's practice another conversation. Person 1, what time do you start work? Person 2, I start at 9. Person 1, and what time do you finish? Person 2, I usually finish around 6.
That's very simple.
Yes, work conversations are often about routines and schedules. Now let's talk about coworkers. People often ask, do you work with a big team?
That's interesting.
You can answer like this. Yes, I work with a team of 10 people. Or, no, I mostly work independently.
Independently means working alone.
Exactly. Now let's practice one more conversation. Person 1, do you work with a big team? Person 2, yes, I work with about 8 people.
That sounds like a natural workplace conversation.
Yes, and the more you practice these conversations, the easier they become.
I'm starting to notice something. Talking about work in English is mostly about describing routines and responsibilities.
That's exactly right. Work conversations are usually about what you do, where you work, your daily tasks, your team, and your schedule.
When you break it down like that, it feels much simpler.
Yes, and soon we'll practice a longer, natural conversation where two people talk about their jobs in detail. This kind of extended conversation helps learners feel comfortable speaking about work in real-life situations.
Talking about work in English feels much clearer now. Before this conversation, I thought I needed a lot of complicated vocabulary, but now I see that simple sentences work very well.
Exactly. In most real conversations, people use clear and simple language. The goal is not to sound complicated. The goal is to communicate your ideas clearly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now let's practice a longer conversation. This will feel like two people meeting for the first time and talking about their jobs.
All right, let's try it.
So, what do you do?
I work in marketing.
Oh, interesting. What exactly do you do?
I manage social media campaigns and create marketing strategies.
That sounds interesting. Where do you work?
I work at a technology company.
How long have you worked there?
I've worked there for about 3 years.
That's a very natural conversation.
Yes, and it flows smoothly.
Exactly. Now let's continue the conversation. Do you like your job?
Yes, I really enjoy it.
What do you like about it?
I like working with creative people and solving problems.
That's a great answer.
It sounds very realistic.
Yes. And now let's add another part. Sometimes people ask about your daily routine at work. What does your typical day look like?
I usually start work at 9. First, I check my emails, then I have meetings with my team.
That sounds like a busy day.
Yes, but I enjoy it.
That conversation shows how people naturally talk about work.
Yes, and it didn't feel difficult.
That's because job conversations follow predictable patterns. People ask similar questions again and again. For example, what do you do? Where do you work? How long have you worked there? Do you like your job?
When you practice these questions, real conversations become easier.
Exactly. Now let's imagine another situation. Two coworkers are talking during a break.
That sounds realistic.
Let's begin. How's work today?
It's a little busy.
What are you working on?
I'm preparing a report for a meeting.
Good luck with the meeting.
Thanks.
That's another common workplace interaction.
Yes, short and friendly.
Now let's talk about one more useful skill. Explaining what you enjoy about your work.
That sounds important.
It is. You might say, I enjoy working with my team. Or, I like solving problems. Or, I enjoy learning new things.
Those answers show personality.
Exactly. Work conversations are not only about tasks, they're also about sharing experiences and interests.
That helps people connect with each other.
Yes, and that connection makes conversations more natural and enjoyable.
I think listeners can now imagine many different work conversations.
I hope so. And remember, confidence comes from practice. The more you practice speaking about your job, the easier it becomes.
Even practicing alone can help.
Yes, absolutely. You can practice answering questions like, what do you do? What do you like about your job? What does your typical day look like?
Repeating these answers out loud will help build confidence.
Exactly. Before we finish today's episode, let's review some key phrases. You can say, I work in marketing. I'm a project manager. I work at a software company. I've worked there for 3 years. I usually start work at 9. I enjoy working with my team.
Those phrases are very useful for everyday conversations.
Yes, they are. And once you feel comfortable using them, talking about work in English becomes much easier.
Today's episode definitely made this topic feel less stressful.
I am very happy to hear that. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us today. We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident when talking about your job in English.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep building your confidence.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode of Improve English with Podcast.